Turn it up.
I told you now.
Please.
You are worse than me.
Another year is ending. Shey, you dey whine.
Welcome to another episode of the Battle Box podcast. And of course, I'm your guy, Baba K. And today we're talking about something that has been with humanity longer than sliced bread, longer than Instagram. Yes, I mean Instagram drama. I'm talking about war. But don't worry, this is not one of those boring history lectures that makes you sleep off in 5 minutes. Nah, we're going to talk like friends. And we might just laugh about it a little, gasp a little, and even shake our heads. I mean, sometimes in this conversation. But by the end of this episode, you'll walk away understanding why humans keep fighting and how war became a whole character in our human history. So, picture this. Way back before Instagram, before phones, before shoes even, two tribes, sea, one river. It's dry season and everybody is thirsty. But there's only one river, one source of fish. What do you think happens next? One of the tribe pulls up like, Omo, now a river be this so. Then the other tribe goes, who born you? We stay here before you come. And boom, the first fight for survival. That was the birth of war. Now, nobody wrote about it. No live stream. But archaeologists found ruins in a place called Hamuka over 5,000 years ago. And it was basically ancient Twitter beef, but with spears and crushed skulls. Now, fast forward, humans became smart. We start building cities, and guess what? We don't just stop fighting, we just level up. Now, the Sumerians, the first people to build an army just for war, not even to protect themselves, just to conquer other people. You may say that's petty, right? Then the Egyptians, they jump into Babylon, joins Hittites, everybody starts doing the most. Then came a mad day, Kadesh, in 1274 BC. Thousands of chariots, arrows flying like WhatsApp broadcasts, and Egyptians versus Hittites. And guess what? That was the first recorded peace treaty in history. So, war taught us to fight, but also to talk. But not everyone came to talk. The Assyrians, my God, these guys invented the fear factor. They didn't just win, they made sure everybody else felt it, heads on spikes, people disappearing, and if you saw the army coming, you would just pack your bags and run. But then the Greeks entered the chart. Sparta, Athens, they brought tactics, formation, teamwork, and the Romans bros. The Romans were like Jeff Bezos of war. They were efficient, ruthless. They built roads for their soldiers, not for holidays. War was business. Empire was the goal. Now, the Middle Ages come in swords, castle, crusades, kings fighting for lands, knights fighting for kings, and religion enters the ring. Jerusalem became the center of the fight, like fuel scarcity in Lagos. But then, boom, Genghis Khan enters with Mongol energy. No castles, just speed, maps, secret messages. Today you had a city, the next week that city has turned into ash. Bros was like the Elon Musk of medieval destruction. And then gunpowder happened. Everything changed. Wars became louder, deadlier. Then came Napoleon, moving like a human hurricane. He taught Europe how to fight faster and smarter. From there, World War I, trenches, poison, gas. This was pure madness. World War II, Hitler, Hiroshima, Holocaust, and from those ashes came nukes, drones, cyber war, spy war, TikTok bans. You get the gist, right? Now, war is everywhere, sometimes without bullets. It is in your bank apps, your SIM, your Wi-Fi, we're still fighting, just in different ways. So here's the real tea. War didn't evolve on its own. We taught it how. We gave it purpose. We gave it tools and even uniforms. But the real question is, if we've come so far, why are we still at it? Is it pride? Greed? Fear? Maybe we still just haven't learned to share that river from 5,000 years ago. Because today, it's messy, it's historical, it's religious, it's political, and it's dangerous as hell. Because this isn't just about borders anymore. This is about pride, power, nuclear capability, cyber attacks, and proxy wars. And the question on everyone's mind is, are we heading towards World War III? Now, let's start with Israel. Israel is one of the most advanced military powers in the world. Tiny country, but tech-wise, they are punching way above their weight. Things like Iron Dome, Mossad, cyber warfare, Now, their survival instinct is sharp, and it makes sense every time. Now, every nation around them historically has wanted to wipe them off the map. Now, you pair that with the US support, which includes billions in military aid, intelligence sharing, and international muscle. So Israel feels pretty untouchable. But it also makes them a magnet for hate, fear, and retaliation. Now, then we talk about Iran. We are not talking about deserts and camels here. This is a sophisticated ancient empire with nuclear ambition, oil money, and some of the smartest hackers on the planet. Now, their ideology, it's religious, but it's also about defiance. Defiance against Western control, against Israel's existence, and against being isolated. And they've got proxies all over the place. Proxies like Hezbollah in Lebanon, militias in Iraq, and the Houthis in Yemen. So even if Iran doesn't press the button directly, they've got a lot of fingers to pull triggers all the way, and they do it on their behalf. Now, if we also consider America in this whole thing, why are they even involved? Now, two reasons. America are involved because of one, oil influence, power. Now, the US has had a massive interest in the Middle East since forever. They want to control the flow of oil. Then that means you also control the economies. They also need allies who are loyal to them. But let's be real. America is one of the strategic partners of, Israel. But if Iran hits them, it means that America have to respond. That's if Iran hits Israel. What it means is that America would have to respond because of the more like the blood pact between the Israelis and the Americans. But again, this is where it gets scary. The US has been playing both sides of the fence for decades. Invading Iraq, sanctioning Iran, and arming Israel. Then they try to calm everybody down while also selling weapons. Now, America is like the bartender who starts the fight and offers to call an Uber after the fight. But the question again is this just a proxy war? Have you ever noticed how no one's fighting directly anymore? Just take a close look at this whole thing. You will notice that nobody is fighting directly anymore. It's like a high school beef. Israel bombs a weapon depot in Syria. Iran funds a militia that launches a drone strike, and America responds with sanctions. And around and round and round it goes. Nobody wants to admit that they are at war, but everybody is already fighting. So somehow it looks like it's war without the label. And the terrifying part is because there's no clear rules anymore. Cyber attacks, assassinations, fake news campaigns, and it's more like chess with knives. Now, the scariest part again is all it takes is one mistake. One Israeli airstrike that kills an Iranian general, or one Iranian missile that hits a US base, one false flag operation that lights the match, and suddenly the world's biggest military powers are trading blows in the region that's already on fire. with nukes in the background, with China and Russia on the side watching, with oil prices exploding and the internet erupting in propaganda wars. It's not a powder keg anymore. It's a dynamite factory. So what the hell do we do? I don't have that answers now, but I do know this. If we don't start having real conversations about war, greed, religion, and nationalism and control, then we're going to have to keep playing this game until someone flips the board and everything falls apart. And the people who will suffer won't even be the generals. It will be the regular people. Kids, families, civilians caught in the crossfire of pride and politics. So maybe it's time to ask, what are they really fighting for? And more importantly, who's getting rich while others bleed? This stuff makes me appreciate peace. I tell you, the whole thing makes me appreciate peace. Makes me want to go outside, breathe, and hug someone. Because while the world's leaders are drawing lines in the sand, the rest of us, we're just trying to be alive. Yes, we're just trying to stay alive. Anyway, I just have to let you know that this is how it is, and this is what has been happening. And most thing again, I want to say that Israel and Iran didn't just dance around each other this time. They hit each other for real. No proxies, no unclean drone strikes, and people are just freaking out. But here's what no one's really asking. Why now? What made this war unavoidable? The question is, what actually happened? In early 2025, a series of Israeli airstrikes hit deep inside Iranian territory, not just the border, but high-level military infrastructure, and Iran responded really hard. Not through Hezbollah, not through Iraq or Syria. Iran launched a coordinated missile barrage directly at Israel, the first time ever at that scale. And suddenly, two of the most hostile countries in the world were in open war. The US scrambled jets to the region. Russia called it Western provocation. China told everyone to calm the hell down in their own way. But here's the wild part. This didn't start in 2025. This fire has been smoldering for decades. And let me break it down. This isn't just about nukes or religion or even revenge. This is about existence, identity, control of the future. Now, Iran's nuclear ambition. For Tehran has been pushing the nuclear envelope for years. Israel is like, they can't happen, ever. They can't build nuclear weapons. But the question is why? And then Israel says because Israel knows that if Iran gets a nuke, the deterrence becomes dicey. You don't play poker with someone who's willing to flip the whole table. Now, let's go into the assassination chain. Remember, a few years back, Mossad allegedly took out Iran's top nuclear scientist inside Iran. Iran retaliated with cyber attacks. Israel hit back harder. It's been this silent chess game until someone knocked the board over. Now we talk about the proxy war fatigue. Lebanon, Syria, Gaza, Yemen, Iraq. For years, they fought through puppets, but puppet gets sloppy, and the longer you fight indirectly, the more likely one wrong move starts a direct war. And that's exactly what happened. Now, America has been shifting their priorities. The US used to have the region on leash, but now they are distracted. I mean, internally they are divided. Their focus now is more on China, and the power vacuum is making old enemies feel bold again. Now we put it into the whole Jerusalem flashpoint. One of the spark plugs was a violent crackdown in East Jerusalem. The Israeli forces storming a very sacred site during Ramadan. To Iran, that was an act of spiritual war, not just political, not just territorial, spiritual that shifted the tone from tension to vengeance. So this is it, the big one. Everyone is asking, is this the start of World War III? Well, I don't think so, but what I do think is that we have entered a new phase, It is not Cold War anymore. It is not even post 9/11 Middle East crisis. This is a world where drones are faster than diplomacy, public opinions get shaped by TikTok and Telegram channels, and misinformation spreads quicker than missiles. This war might stay regional for now, but every time these countries hit each other, they test the world's tolerance for chaos, and that line is getting thinner by the day. Now, if we watch the narrative, concerning the bombs, here's what scares me the most. People aren't watching the war. They are watching what their algorithm feeds them about the war. And that's dangerous, because when people don't see the full picture, they stop asking questions. And when you stop asking questions, you start picking sides based on vibes, not facts. And that's how war lasts longer. And that's how leaders get away with anything. So, what now? I ask, or you ask. Well, for me, I'm just a podcast host. I'm not a general. I'm not in Congress. I'm not even in Mossad or the IRGC. But I am a dude who cares, who reads, and who listens. And what I'm seeing is this. The longer we normalize small wars, the closer we get to a big one. Because war isn't just about missiles and tanks anymore. It's influence, it's economics, its narrative is warfare. And in this new era, truth might be the first casualty. So keep your eyes open, stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, peace isn't weakness. Sometimes it is the strongest, most baddest things we have to, embrace. Anyway, that's how we come to the end of today's podcast on the whole Israel-Iran war and the involvement of America. And until I come your way next time, remember, the matter does not matter until it begins to matter. And you can always listen to all other podcast episodes here on Spotify or every other streaming platform on the Battlebox platform. And that way you could get to hear and listen to all the stories, all the topics that I've shared on our platform, the Battlebox podcast. Until next time, see you.
Bata bata, bata bata, bata box.